I would like to invite up Reverend Pat and Reverend Ken to the stage, please. So, you heard the Declaration of Principles as read by Dr. Deborah. Do you accept this as your faith, the truth that is expressed in these declarations?
I do.
You sure?
Absolutely. So I have a couple of questions.
Dr. Everconi, So, Reverend Pat and Reverend Ken, will you, to the best of your ability, let these principles guide your life?
Absolutely.
Will you help all those who come to you understand the truth, and that is that we are immersed in the Spirit of God, that we are God, and that God is in us, and that we are one being?
Yes.
Do you believe that the events, situations, and circumstances which we attract into our experiences are the result of that which we think, feel, and imagine, and that the person that embodies what they want to attract, regardless of what appears, will eventually experience in the outer realm what they have so faithfully seen in the inner?
Yes.
Therefore, I charge you, Reverend Pat and Reverend Ken, and Reverend Lana, as you progress as ministers at this center, and I plead with you to remain steadfast and unwavering, to know that divine principle is the only power, to know that the presence of God strengthens and sustains you no matter what, to know that one mind inspires your loving, consecrated service. So will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so? So will the members and friends of this center please stand? So I charge you.
You guys are nervous. I thought you were my friend.
I charge you, members and friends, and Reverend Gwen Smith. I charge you to help Ken, Lana, and Pat. I charge you to honor them, to support them, to do this with your treatments, with your dedication, and with your love. And I ask you right now, will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so?
Yes.
I want you to remember that the three of them are individuals, while we, the congregation, are many. It's therefore upon the work of the minister, the congregation, and the board of trustees that the success and prosperity of this center becomes a light to all people. So please remain standing, and Reverends Pat and Ken, acting upon the authority vested in me by the Leadership Council of Centers for Spiritual Living, me as the Centers for Spiritual Living spiritual leader, I hereby install you as ministers of the Center for Spiritual Living Kamloops. And I charge you. This is commitment. This is the thing. This is what you and I talked about a lot.
Okay.
From this point forward, you go forth and you teach the thoughts of things. You go forth and teach that all people can change their life by changing the way that they think. Teach them how to build a consciousness of health, harmony, happiness, peace, power, prosperity, love, beauty, joy, and compassion. Teach all that God in them is who they are, and that God as them is what they are, and that what they see on the outside is God itself. That there is no separation, there is only one. And it happens within each and every one of us as an individualization of the thing itself. Teach them a new way to think, a different way to believe, and show them a better way to live. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your new ministers, Reverend Ken Serl, Reverend Pat Davies, and bless Reverend Lana Graham.
Thank you, Dr. Ken. And congratulations to the
Reverend friends.
How many would like to hear some words of wisdom from the newly installed reverends? In no particular order. However, it's alphabetical. Please help me welcome Reverend Pat Davies.
Well, I think a lot of what I wanted to say, I already kind of embodied some of that, but since we're all one, yeah, when I first stepped into the center 10 years ago, before it was actually even a center, and then had the opportunity to be part of helping to found the center, I had no idea, none at all, right? Connie might not have had an idea, but I certainly had no idea that I would end up standing up here today and going on the journey that I've been on, and taking this other step in my journey for even more of what is going to be shown to me and that I'm going to attract into my life. I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of this journey, to be part of this evolution of consciousness here in Kamloops and also in the rest of the world. I've gone down many paths, and I spent most of my life looking outside of myself, trying to find, what would bring me joy and what would bring me happiness. I have 5 children who have brought me lots of joy, a little bit of stress as well, but much joy and much happiness. But it took me a long time to realize that my joy and happiness could not be just in my children or in the fathers of my children, some of whom didn't really bring me a lot of joy, but that's another story for another time. When I came to the center 10 years ago, and I started to listen to what Connie had to say at the time, I just felt like, yeah, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been trying to figure out. This is what I've been questioning all of my life, is like, how do you really find that joy and happiness? And over the process of the last 10 years, I've discovered that it's actually right here. It's inside me. Right? And I have that to share with the rest of the world. And as I grow and I open up to what all of those possibilities are, those limitless possibilities, not only for myself, but for absolutely everybody else, that I am so honored and humbled to be in a position where I can support other people in the evolution of their consciousness, because we're all on that journey, we're all on that path, and we're all working towards the same thing. And that is to be loved and to represent that to everybody else and to the world. And yeah, I'm just a little overwhelmed right now. Maybe I'm just starting to experience a bit of a hiccup or a cough or a blip. What was it? A blip or something, right? Yeah, because I just got charged with a whole lot of stuff. So hopefully my credit cards won't be maxed beyond the limit. Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you to everybody for coming and being a part of it. And I'd like to especially thank my daughter Lana for coming and representing herself and also all of her siblings. So thank you so much.
Our next installation for the new ministers in the making will have chairs. Our co-minister of the center, last but not least in no particular order, Mr. Reverend Serl.
Thank you all for coming. This is really a big night. And if it's a big night for me, it's a big night for the center. Because, as Dr. Ken said, when things happen, they happen because of consciousness. So So when the three of us do our work and our studying, there's some energy that we're picking up. And it's the energy of coming here becomes inside us. So I salute you. And the beautiful support that we've had, people asking, well, when do you go here or whatever. So it's been a journey, it's been remarkable. So thank you very much for being such a wonderful group. That includes these folks here. And folks, I've got a couple of friends here who have known me for over 40 years. And my wife, she's here. And my mother-in-law, 44 years. My friends Sandy and Elaine and Ken Woodcock, I thank them for coming. And they've known me more than 40 years. So I think they probably, we didn't sit down and have a coffee or a pop and say, well, what do you think? Am I changing? But I know I'm changing. 2008 in March, and my wife and I were down doing some snowbirding. And so I came from Mount Paul United Church over on the North Shore. And that was fine. There were a few bumps. I didn't all fit there, but I went there and was filled partially. Anyway, we were down in the Palm Springs area. And my typical Sunday, I would head down the road and turn right up the hill, and I'd go to the United Methodist Church up there. And it was basically home. Some things were happening, and for some reason I went on the internet, and I kind of had a little message from a friend, dear Reverend Lana. She'd gone to the Center for the Spiritual Enrichment Center. And I kind of started to Google that. You mentioned about Googling. Yeah, Google's got everything, almost everything. And I found there were a couple of addresses down there of churches that were to become Center for Spiritual Living. So one day I went down the road on a Sunday. Instead of turning right, I turned left. Somebody could probably do a movie about that. Went over the highway and was decided I would go to the Palm Springs Church. And as I was driving along, minding my own business, I was wondering, now, what is it? What am I doing? What am I looking for? Being that I'm kind of an intellectual guy, I don't just want to go off, half-cocked or, with the heart or whatever. I got to vote. And so it came to me that I was looking for the truth. Truth was the issue that came up. Now, I didn't know about inner guidance at the time. I didn't know about this voice, intuition, and all this good stuff that I know now. But it certainly was very clear I was seeking the truth. So I went to the center there, and I could make up a story and you'd all be impressed, but it wouldn't be the truth. So I forget what the title was, but it was pointed directly about truth. I don't know if truth was in the title, but I knew. I sat down and I knew I was home. And I knew that speaking up on that, like this, that was me. And that was my life. I knew that was my life. So after the service, I went over and I got this big fat book called The Textbook, Science of Mind. And I bought it, American money, but that's okay. And I took it home and opened it up. Unfortunately, it had kind of a study calendar where it was 365 days and it was all organized and whatever. So you just had to read it. In a year, you would have read the entire book. And I was really upset because I always wanted to read ahead. Because, I want to figure it all out, right? Now, that's kind of where it started. And I'm going to use a bit of a term. The term is, we're metaphysicians. Metaphysicians. Meta means beyond. Now, in those days, I wasn't a metaphysician. How I had kind of responded to life and had done as well as I had, which was no great shakes, but I'd done okay. It was about responding to the outside stuff, to working on the outside, doing the outside work. Now, why is it you say that it would take 7 years, which is enough to get a doctorate in most cases, right? You can get a doctorate in most cases in 7. Why is it that it takes 7 years? Well, it takes 7 years to move, for somebody like me, maybe like you do, takes 7 years from living and taking the truth as being outside of you to going inside and to knowing that that's where we are. And I don't find the truth. I'm getting bumps. You know, I do get bumps. And I guess that indicates that it's going from head to the heart, right? But it goes, it takes some time to change, to shift the consciousness. It's not about just reading, oh, got her now, read the textbook. Sorry, you've got to kind of take it inside. So the textbook was always within each of us. The knowledge is within each of us. I found that out. It works. If I have my spiritual time in the morning, I can ask, I can set my goals for the day, or I can say this is the goodness, but then I'm expecting that that goodness is going to come from inside, and lo and behold, it'll manifest. This is beautiful work. This is my life. This is who I was meant to be. It took me a long time and a few bumps to figure that out. But this is just beautiful stuff. I want to thank, now, going back, Ernest Holmes started out with the idea of teaching. He didn't start out with the idea about having 500 churches and things of that sort. He started out that this was beautiful stuff that he had pulled from the spiritual, the ancient wisdom, from all of the major spiritual traditions. He'd pull it together, and he wanted to share it. We've got it on our sign out there, sharing gifts and suggestions. This is beautiful stuff. It's not stuff that belongs here or there or there. It belongs to everyone. This was his idea, and I want to salute my teachers. 3 years, Connie. First year, second year, and first year of becoming a practitioner. Thank you. That was lovely. 3 years. Our year of practitioner, Pat and I were there, just the two of us. Whoa, what a commitment, Connie. Thank you. And then we kind of moved on. We moved on within this spiritual community, and we got involved with Kelowna. Dr. Deb, Dr. Ken. Not here right now. We've got Dr. Casey, who also assisted, and Reverend Diane. And so this is the thing about this work. You can go, I had a little visit with, what was his name? I can't even remember. I'm so excited. I guess it must be in the heart and not the head. Anyway, Deepak, sorry. For half an hour I watched Deepak today. I didn't have to go anywhere. So we kind of look at this. What is this place? What attracts? Well, this is community, right? You could study this book, but you're going to miss the human interaction. So we had the beautiful spiritual communities of Kamloops and Vernon Dale. Reverend Pat coming to us. 4 years, though, with the Kelowna Connection. Classmates, thank you so much. So this can't help but move you. And so I definitely commit myself. This is the work that I've chosen it, and I affirm it. So thank you so much.
On behalf of Reverend Lana, I know this is a proud moment for her, and her heart is one more round of applause. We have a guest musician, and I know she's Pat's friend. She comes from Kelowna. Please welcome Reverend Wen Smith to do our closing song.